Hi there, I'm Danny Gregory, and you know, I don't know about you, but I find that my creativity kind of comes and goes. There are days when I'm just all fired up, millions of ideas, can't wait to make stuff. Everything I make is awesome. And then there are other days where it seems like I'll never make anything again. It seems like everything is bleak and barren and I wonder if I'll ever be able to make something again. So this is an idea that I've been thinking about probably my whole creative life. This notion of the ups and downs, the kind of the seasons really of our creativity. And each week I sit down and I write an essay on whatever it is that I'm thinking about art making, about life, about creativity. And I send it out to people. And if you'd like to get it too, you can sign up below. You can see the URL there. And I'll send you also a book of my essays. But each Friday I send one out. And I've got this new habit of, on Mondays, reading it to whoever's interested. So if you aren't in the mood to read it yourself, let me read it for you. This is the email essay that I sent out last Friday, and it is called Spring Forward, Fall Back. It's starting to look an awful lot like spring around here. The pear trees pounded out a full serving of blossoms and leaves in a single weekend. A couple of weeks later, they snowed petals all over the garden, and now they're just standing there, smug in their verdant splendor. The naked elm trees and the skeletal pomegranate look at them with envy. The cottontails are making fools of themselves, leapfrogging and sprinting around the oleanders. The mockingbirds and doves are in full Randy mode, fluffing themselves and doing silly tribal dances. The hawks are dive-bombing nests, throwing the ravens into a squawking outrage, and they launch into full-on dogfights above the phone lines. In a few weeks, it'll all die down, and things will get peaceful as nature steels herself for the inferno of another Arizona summer. I have seasons, too. Sometimes I'm bursting with ideas and energy. I wake up in the middle of the night at dawn with undoably long to-do lists. And soon I slide back into the trough. All I want is to curl up with a book and a Bud Light by the pool. I spend my life clambering in and out of troughs like these. And here, in my 7th decade, I finally recognize the pattern. Instead of worrying when my energy and motivation ebbs, when my enthusiasm wanes, when I don't write a word or draw for weeks at a time, I know it's all just a phase. Soon the tide will flood back in, and I'll be soaked with creative vim once more. We are not perpetual motion machines. They don't exist. Instead, we need to sow seeds, to let the ground harden, and to attend the rain till the sprouts push out from the corrugated soil. In time, the sun will bake, the leaves will fall, the skies will darken, and the cycle will turn once again. I've learned to see my patterns. I log the evidence in my journal every night before bed so I can step back and convince myself that this moment, any moment, is not forever. The fallow periods are just rest times for the ebullience to come. I remember why I do this work. Habit and ritual carry me through. I celebrate my victories, big and small. I work a long garden. I paint a big picture. I just need to keep sowing and reaping, tilling and resting by the fire. This too shall pass. Your pal, Danny. Well, that was this week's essay. I wrote a little PS there, which is kind of sort of redundant actually for you, because the PS this week says, if you're one of the readers who asked if there was an audio version of my essays, you'll be glad to know that I'm experimenting with live videos of me reading new essays after I send them out. Case in point. I also talk a bit about how the essay came to be, and I posted one on Monday, and I'll try to turn this into a habit. So that was this week's essay, thinking about the comings and goings of creativity. That creativity is, like all creations, if there's a period of gestation, and then there's birth, and then ultimately there's the waning of energy, and then there's death. But after death comes a new birth. And that is what we need to think about. So if there are times when you say to yourself, ugh, I'll never think of something again, or I used to be so creative and now I'm not anymore. The key is to see this bigger picture, but also to keep working. Because ultimately the only way that your creativity will completely dry up is if you give up and if you stop doing things. So there may come periods where you have lousy ideas or very few ideas or ideas that don't excite you. That isn't to say that the game is over, that the party's done. It's just to say you need to keep thinking and being patient. You need to take those times of the autumn and the winter of our creative rhythms, and you need to use those times perhaps to do something else, maybe to inspire yourself. Maybe to go and look at the work of other artists, maybe to look back at your own work, to feed your soul, to nourish yourself. Imagine being by the fire in the little cottage in the winter, steeling yourself, waiting for spring to come. And if you were a farmer, winter wasn't a period where you kind of gave up and said, oh no, nothing's growing, we're done. No, you had chores and you had routines that were designed for winter. So if you're going through a winter period, don't worry. Spring will come. It will be crazy. There'll be bursts of energy. Some of it will be good. Some of it will just be madness. And then you will have time to think about it, time to work on it, time to take all those zillions of ideas that are popping up out of your head and to examine them, to polish them, and to ultimately, turn the thousands of blossoms into some delicious fruit. So don't despair. Just understand your rhythms. And as I said in the essay, I find that recording my rhythms is a really great way to be able to go back and look and say, okay, up and down, up and down. If you were exercising, perhaps you would keep a log of your exercises and you'd say, you know what, periodically I've plateaued. I reach to a point where I'm not growing anymore. I'm not progressing. That isn't to say that you won't again. You just need time to retrench and to move forward. So have faith in yourself. Have belief that you are a creative being and that you can continue to create as long as you don't allow the monkey, that voice in your head, the inner critic, to convince you that, there's no point in going on. So, that's my essay for the week. If you'd like to read next week's essay, which I just wrote this morning, and it's a humdinger. Monday mornings is generally when I sit down, start the week off by writing a couple of essays. So I send one out on Friday. I send one out on Tuesday also. If you sign up today, you'll get my essays, and hopefully that will be something that you can sit and read when you're curled up by the fire. So thanks for joining me today. It's nice to see that there's some folks that are here live. Welcome. But maybe you're watching the recording of this. So if you subscribe to this channel, then you'll be alerted that, I'm here again, as I will be at least next Monday. We'll see if I keep doing this. It's fun. And thanks for joining me. Have a great day.